Morning chaps, how the devil? It's Sunday, the finest day of the week. Not just because you can be a lazy bastard and stay in bed all day, but because it's time for your weekly dose of the BBC Spews, YouTube's finest, communist-based news organisation. Let's get started, shall we? No messing about. First things first, working from home could lead to more prejudice, report finds. Of course it could. Of course it could. Everything could lead to more prejudice, yeah? Showering too quickly could lead to more prejudice. Perrier water could lead to more prejudice. Anything could do that. Do you see where I'm going with it? What's the point in this fucking story? Oh yeah, pointless, hostile race baiting. That's the point. And like most communist organisations, the BBC never wastes a second if they can do some more stoking of the coals. Farming some more hostility, bitterness and resentment from the working classes. Let's get them all riled up. So, let's have a read of it, shall we? Harry Farley and Will Dahlgreen. Widespread working from home could lead to an increase in racism and prejudice, a new report finds. Workplace friendships are key to breaking down misconceptions, the England and Wales study for the Wolf Institute suggests. Founder Ed Kessler said as more people work from home, they risk going back into isolated silos. If you work from home, you're going to be a bit more isolated. What do they want me to do? Invite everyone from the office round to my fucking two-bedroom semi? Sort of defeats the point, doesn't it? We could all do that. Can't work in the office. Might spread the germs. What should we do then? Invite everyone round my house. Fucking great. I'll put the kettle on. We'll have a grand time. But it's a tenth of the size of the office. Fuck it. Fuck it. Can't risk there being more prejudice. Sort of reminds me of when they said Black Lives Matter were alright to have 100,000 people form an angry mob and march through the town, and all of the BBC and the lefty journalists will have writing opinion pieces saying, oh yeah, coronavirus is dangerous, but racism's more dangerous, let's have a riot. Bit weird how it only works one way, that, isn't it? Bit weird. Like the virus is sentient, and if you're taking part in good-natured communist rabble-rousing, the virus will go, well, let's give them a wide berth. Let's go and infect some bigots. He said he called on ministers to focus on offices and workplaces as vital areas for community relations. It's fucking work. No one cares. Just go to get a paycheck. We're all wage slaves. Just get used to it. The study conducted by polling company Surveyation for the Wolf Institute researches interfaith relations and surveyed 11,700 people. Oh God, here we are. Let's get the Muslims and the Jews round the campfire singing Kumbaya thanks to the office environment, shall we? It says Hadiya Mazia, who is a Muslim, became close friends with Samuel Rosengard, an Orthodox Jew. Samuel said that while he never had any racist or Islamophobic views, he may have had misconceptions about the Muslim communities. Oh, that sounds like a covert xenophobe to me. I think Samuel may need to be put to the question by the BBC Inquisition. Meeting Hadiya has really helped clarify where my thinking can be askew, he said. Hadiya agreed, saying it was more of a political thing about Israel and Palestine. Oh, so Hadiya doesn't like fucking Jews, does she? Of course she doesn't. Sounds to me like they're both playing for the cameras. Through their work they become close friends. Hadiya said, I've evolved my position from gas all of the fuckers to, well, at least put them to work in a camp. Good work, Hadiya. We were both from very different backgrounds and the idea of Israel and Palestine was a hot topic, but we were able to discuss that in a way that was understanding of each other. Samuel added, before COVID we would have regular discussions about these kinds of issues, also identifying common cultural traits. Hadiya and I would start off conversations, then we'd go for a coffee, but that doesn't happen now, so it's a loss. I don't think there's any need for me to read any more of this fucking drivel, is there? It says, oh, it also suggests unemployed people are 37% more likely to only have friends from their own ethnic group. Yes, because they sit in the house all day. It's like, once again, we make all these fucking... Look, there's some nice infographics and all these charts and fucking drivel that nobody who isn't a complete imbecile doesn't already know. The short version is, we all know that when you go to work, you're forced to associate with people that you probably wouldn't ordinarily associate because it's a big fucking environment and they employ people from all over the place, and all of a sudden you're stuck in a room with them and you're supposed to pretend that you're mates with them. Workmates aren't the same as best mates that you choose of your own accord, because you get put together, whether you like it or not. And then most people are quite agreeable and they do the best to get on. We all know this. We all know this. It has always happened. It will always happen. And the idea that just because now we're on lockdown, everyone's going to suddenly start goose-stepping to the corner shop, it's just scaremongering. And once again, they're just looking for news. Looking for the same shit news that the BBC has been peddling for the last 5 years. It's total fucking drivel. Nothing none of us didn't know. So let's just move on, shall we? BBC Bite Size is at it again. This is really bad because it's aimed at children. You know, a few weeks back I covered the pronouns one they made. Well, today I clicked on Bite Size and look, it says, look, aimed at little kids. New on Bite Size, the history of the body positivity movement. Yay, let's make their kids fatter, yeah? In 2020, one problem we have got is the kids just aren't fat enough, yeah? There's not enough little butterballs being rolled to school by a carer, right? We need to get some more pounds piled on the porky little lard bellies, don't we? That's what we need. We need it. If you compare kids now to the 1980s, they were all fat knackers in the 80s. Now there's a fucking bag out. You've got bags and bones walking to school, haven't you? I'll tell you, if there's one problem we need to fix, it's making kids fatter, right? From New York to Instagram, the history of the body positivity movement. Yeah, learn and revise. Perfect for things for kids to learn and revise. It says, love the skin you're in. And here we have the fucking land whale telling us, yeah, arms and legs like fucking upside down kebabs, still on the fucking rack. She's going to tell the kids, come on, have another donut and play more Xbox. It says the body positivity movement has flooded our timeline for years now. There are some who think it promotes unhealthy lifestyles. Yeah, there are some. Probably 90% of the fucking general public, yeah. Just some. But those who support the movement, they say it's all about self-acceptance and not letting your physical appearance get you down. Quality. We've asked Tigress Osborne, fuck me, why is everybody involved with these movements doesn't just look a fucking state? They always have a ridiculous name. They can't even name themselves normally. Why are they never called Sarah Smith? Why? Tigress Osborne. And they want us to take them seriously. At least start with the name. Employ someone called Jenny. Right? If you just again, I keep talking about optics, yeah? Don't hire a 7-foot-tall, terrifying German with a stereotypical German accent to promote your world domination agenda. How about you don't hire someone called Tigress if you want people to take your stupid movement seriously? How about that controversial scheme? He read about the unfair ways fat people were treated and made copies of the article and handed them out to everyone he knew. On the other side of the US, a group of California feminists were also angry about the treatment of fat people. What treatment? Again, it's like the race baiting. It's like, where are you seeing this? Is there like a uniformed group of thugs that go around targeting the fat? Everyone's got a bit of beef on them. I've got a little bit of extra timber since I've got into my 40s. It's fine. I don't feel as if I'm being targeted all of a sudden. There's people watching until you tip a certain point on the scales, and all of a sudden it's time, target that fat man. Like, what planet are these people living on? They always want to see prejudice and xenophobia and hatred, and where there is none. They just go looking for it. It is like the Spanish Inquisition. If you look fucking hard enough, you will find it. Write it down. There's another fucking hate. There's another long list of hate crimes we can fucking invent. Fatism. It said fat feminists formed the Fat Underground. Fat Liberation. By 1973 they had released their groundbreaking Fat Manifesto. Groundbreaking? Really? Groundbreaking if one of them fucking jogged up your porch to deliver it, because a big £490 fat activist had probably groundbreak all of your fucking foundations in your house. Yeah, groundbreaking if Fatty rolls down your stairs. That's the only part of it that's groundbreaking. It called for the reducing industries, i.e. diet culture, and declared them as enemies. Enemies? Well, there's their enemies. Everyone needs an enemy to rouse the rabble. Who's our enemy? That bastard I seen jogging. Yeah? Enemies, diet culture, fucking hell. So if you say, you know what, if your doctor says to you, you know, of course it's not the end of the world, but you could do with losing a few pounds, you'd be like, seize him. Yeah, there's another one for the gulags. That bastard told me he didn't want me to die of cardiac arrest. And these fucking people are lunatics. Although it does make me feel better that there was complete lunatics in the 70s. I've sort of just felt as if they've turned up in the last few years, but it's nice to know they've always been around. Soothing. Oh God, look, they've even got a rupture there. Look, it says, but mainstream fat activists often shut out the voices of people of colour. Well, maybe they weren't fat enough, yeah? Get them people of colour some more sausage rolls, and when they become fat people of colour, then they can join in. Otherwise, they're just diet culture enemies. Fat folks hit the streets, yeah? Same crack, can't spell anything properly. People enjoying the San Francisco Pride Parade, well, none of them are fat knackers, so they're the enemies, yeah? Put them in the gulag as well, skinny bastards. Big buddies online, oh, see, this is where it goes mental. In the early 2000s, fucking buffalo arse, who's that? Lizzo. More chins than the Chinese phone book. Fingers like sausage rolls. That little fold under her armpit there, that's basically a normal human-sized arse. Just living in the cleft under a pit. Yeah, honking. Body positivity gets big, then forgets where it came from. Oh, God, yeah. So, want more support on body image? No, I fucking don't. And then obviously they finished the article with a link to something Monroe Bergdorf wants to say, because why not be a hate preacher as well as a fat fucker? Yeah, it's awful messaging, awful brainwashing of children. Terrible news if you don't want to have a cardiac arrest before you hit 40. Nothing good to come from it, and it's being aimed in a nice, humorous, cartoony manner at 3 to 11-year-olds, 11 to 16-year-olds, and maybe the odd fucking post-16-year-old. Awful. Deeply immoral, and if you keep paying your TV licence, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. Let's move on. Lord Ahmed retires from Parliament days before his expulsion. The rat bastards always weasel the way out of it, don't they? Same with fucking that absolute scumbag. I did a video about it ages ago. I'll try and put a link in the description if I can find it. All about Keith Vaz, shagging rent boys, taking the piss out of his expenses, buying coke, like just a total weasel. All the while his constituency was full of human trafficking, slavery, grooming gangs. They're just total scum, these people. Absolute scum, and they never get held to account. And Lord Ahmed's just another one. Scumbag fucking House of Lords this time. He's retired just before the report could get him expelled for sexually exploiting vulnerable women. Unbelievable. Grabbing her, groping her, sexually assaulting her, a much younger woman. Newsnight did an investigation. I just briefly want to talk about, because if you get to the bottom of the story, guess what it says? I'm extremely disappointed by the report of the Conduct Committee, which is based on a flawed and unfair investigation process. Just the weasel words of a career lawyer. That's why we're in so much shit nowadays, because everyone in a position of power is a lawyer. All of them. Every one of them is a lawyer. The worst fucking people on earth. And the founding fathers in the United States write things in a very clear and specific way, trying to be like, we know weasels are going to try and find ways around everything, so we'll write this clear, direct, simple. All that's gone, because everyone's a lawyer now. Everyone wants to rules lawyer everything, and they all use weasel words, and they can just get around anything. That's why in 2020 we're fucked, because it doesn't matter what institution or legal document or precedent we have, there is always a rat bastard who can go, well, technically, actually. Everyone wants to rules lawyer every fucking thing. And yeah, Lord Ahmed just doing what the creatures that we call politicians do. Rules lawyering. It's based on an unfair investigation process. We know you are a dirty, slimy creature. We know. We know. You can talk about it being flawed all you like. Is the woman lying? Do we think she's making it all up? Total fiction. And he definitely didn't grope anyone. I think we know the fucking answer to that question, don't we? But you get to the bottom and it says, given this, I'm now going to continue pursuing my appeal to the European Court of Human Rights to remedy this injustice. Yeah. The Nancy fucking sexual deviant. They must remedy this injustice. Fuck off. And if that's one and more reason that we have to push through Brexit, it's to get rid of the European Court of Human Rights. The Criminals Charter. That's all the European Court of Human Rights has ever been. All it's done for the last 20 years is look for ways to undo convictions for scum. Like, that is all the European Court of Human Rights exists for. Because we didn't have it in the 70s, and in Britain we weren't going around treating people like cattle. We know what human rights are, thanks. We don't need a fucking bunch of overpaid bureaucrats to tell us what human rights are. We know people should be treated fairly and with respect. And we don't need some overpaid fucking weasels, more lawyers, to tell us, oh, no, we've got to worry about human rights for rapists, pedos and fucking nonces and sexual deviants. No, we don't. We know that if you're a decent person, you should be treated with respect. But if you're a fucking rat bastard, nobody cares. If you get found guilty in a court of law and judged as such by 12 of your fucking peers, you need punishing. And I don't give a shit what some overpaid twat in Brussels has to say about it. So let's get rid of that fucking organisation and nail this creepy fucking scumbag to the wall, shall we? This one, don't worry, I'm not going to play with. I can't be bothered, I've got a hangover. I just like the headline. Amazon rainforest, we are paying the price for disrespecting nature. Always with we. I don't feel like they've been disrespecting nature, the poor bastards. Yeah, so coronavirus is ripping through indigenous communities, ripping through them again. Hyperbole, fucking weasel words, trying to scare everyone. Let's go. They're not happy with just indoctrinating British people. They're fucked off to the Amazon rainforest to put the shits up a bunch of indigenous peoples. What a bunch of bastards. Honestly, I don't know how you sleep at night if you fucking work for the BBC. I really don't. I don't like talking about it, but I'll finish on it because it's been in the fucking news all week, right? COVID-19, strengthened tier system for England after lockdown. Right, we know what's coming. If you watch this channel, I've been skeptical for fucking months. We know what's coming, right? We know. If you don't know, let me tell you. When lockdown finishes, you'll have about a week where you might maybe be able to sneak out for a pint, and then they'll go back into lockdown, back into the tier system, and that needs to be stronger than ever. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to go through your tier system, which is basically lockdown light, for 4 or 5 weeks, and then it's going to get colder, and it's going to move into January, and then the fucking cases are going to go up because lockdown doesn't work, and we know it doesn't work, and we knew it didn't work before the last fucking lockdown. And then we're going to get into January, and we're going to go, shit, cases have gone up again because it spreads like wildfire. And guess what? Then we're going to have to now have another lockdown. Fucking funny how that works, isn't it? It baffles me how uninformed these people are. It doesn't work. What have I been saying for the last 6 months? It doesn't work. If it worked, we wouldn't be having another lockdown, would we? If it worked, we wouldn't have had the last 2. I'm aghast. I am lost for fucking words at this point. With Boris, the albino jellyfish, and his team of absolute shit cunts. There's a tougher system, a 3-tiered system will come into force on England when the lockdown ends. So as soon as lockdown ends, you're back in lockdown. Fucking winner. Boris is setting out his plan on Monday. More areas are expected to keep higher tiers to keep the virus under control. You don't keep the virus under control. If it kept the virus under control, it would have fucking vanished, yeah, on 2nd of December. It doesn't keep the virus under control. The only thing it does is pisses everybody off and keep people under control. Sage is expected to publish research on Monday saying the previous restrictions were not strong enough. So you're going to need more lockdown. More lockdown in January, more lockdown in February, more lockdown in March, more lockdown in April. Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. And then guess what? Come out of lockdown in May. Fucking hell, cases gone up. That's weird. What more can I say? There's no point in me reading the rest of it, and there's no point in me going on about it. We've got the T. First of all, there's no such thing as low. Have you noticed that? In the old days, it was low, medium, high. Now you just fucking start on medium, which is weird. Scaremongering. Medium. Bottom tier, medium. High. Medium, high, and very high. There's no such thing as low. Fucking ridiculous. And the exception will be Christmas. Fucking hell, so what's the point? Either do it properly or don't do it at all. Well, we know how I feel about it. And then obviously they have the death tally at the bottom. Still, after all this time, 9 months, still only 54,000. And that's an expanded figure that we know, because they lie about the figures. So that's not accurate. It's not as high as that. But even if we take their word for it, and it is 54,626, that is still less than died in 1 month, January 2018, check the numbers, 1 month we lost 60,000 to fucking seasonal flu in January 2018. And we've fucked the country up, put it in lockdown for 9 months, decimated the economy, spent £100 billion we don't have, killed everyone with strokes, killed more people with heart attacks, diabetes, a dozen different forms of cancer, increased depression and suicidal ideation by fucking millions, yeah, depressed 10 million kids who can't go out the house, can't go to the fucking school, can't do any exercise, ruined women's lives who were trapped in abusive relationships, stuck them in the house with the person that beats the shit out of them with alarming frequency. I can go on all day. I can go on all day. And back in lockdown, yeah? Back in lockdown. Get fucking used to it, because they'll go, the second everyone comes out and goes back on the piss, the numbers will fucking shoot up and they'll go, oh, guess we're on lockdown again. It doesn't fucking work. So get used to it, boys. You're staying in. Literally until they get the vaccine out and everyone's had it, it seems like, which they'll have a case of their own to make, because half the fucking people don't want to get it and will refuse to get it. Basically, we're on lockdown forever. Just get used to it. The government's plan is lock them down until the virus vanishes, and it'll only vanish if they come up with a super vaccine. So get fucking used to it, lads. Get used to it. If you're in an abusive relationship and you're stuck in a house with a man who beats your senses, get fucking used to it, Rocky. Yeah? Get used to it. You're worried about other forms of disease, cancer, heart disease, stroke. Fuck you. Sorry, we've got the flu to worry about. Yeah? Unbelievable. You might be bleeding out your arsehole, but fuck you. We've got to worry about this cunt with a cough. Yeah? Just get used to it. So there we go. That was the BBC for another week. I am the Angry Bootneck. Stop paying your TV licence. Don't watch any live broadcasts, and you don't fucking need to. Defund the BBC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.